Hi people. Interesting to read in the paper today, the government want the banks to give all their customer details to them. It's all to do with this $250,000 bank deposit guarantee that the government brought in during the last, this financial crisis that's still continuing today, back in 2008, 2009. People remember that far back. They guaranteed the deposits of customers' money in the bank. Now at the time I thought to myself, and a lot of other people would have as well, anybody that had a substantial amount of money in the bank would naturally split that money they had up into, half a dozen accounts, 10 accounts, 20 accounts or whatever at different banks. All this is to do with the this financial crisis that hasn't gone away. It's got worse. I said it would, and it's all coming to a head. The government are panicking now because they realise that people have got 10 or 20 or whatever accounts with $250,000 sitting in them. That's why they've asked the banks to give details of who people are and how many bank accounts they have. It always seems to be related to us people here in Australia. The ridgy-ditch people that go to work, the ones that have maybe had investments and done well on their investments and have the money in Australian banks. We're the ones they seem to screw all the time. People that transfer hundreds of millions of dollars to overseas bank accounts always seem to get away with it. One particular case was when Myers went public. 1.5 billion, I think, went out of the country overnight. The foreign bank accounts. Screw the people here in Australia. This is what this government is all about. I've said before, I don't know how many times in different videos, they don't want us to have any money. You're not allowed to have any money. You're not allowed to enjoy life. All you got to do is just go to work and pay your taxes. And here's another thing. Find out how much money people have in their bank accounts. So if anybody that has half a dozen bank accounts, because what they're going to do, if they're in your name, they're only going to pay one. They're only going to guarantee one. That's if you ever see the money. Because when this crisis that's still continuing eventually blows up, all these stimuluses, all these bailouts of banks in America, banks in Europe, are all just a big cover-up. They're all just programmed to forestall the inevitable, which is crash. I've mentioned anybody that's got money invested in investment firms, brokerage firms, dealing on the stock market. If you have a substantial amount of money, get it out and put it into bricks and mortar. Anybody that has 2 or 3 or half a dozen bank accounts in their own name with 250,000 in them, I would suggest that you pull it out if you have kids, pay off their mortgage or help pay off their mortgage, or try and pay off their mortgage completely, so they don't owe any money to the banks, because our banks here are no better off than, well, we may be a little bit better, who knows. But I don't think any of the banks anywhere worldwide are any value, because there is that much interbank loans that go on, all these derivatives that are floating around, and you can guarantee that our banks here are tied up in those things. I mentioned in a video a while ago, I think greed is the root to all the problem. Banks. Screw everybody. I remember last year sometime when they were talking about company executives' pays, trying to put a sort of saying that the CEO of a company can't earn $5 or $10 million a year. The government's saying this. They've just given themselves a massive pay rise. All this stuff is called in your face. We have the power, we can do it. If you don't like it, go jump. That's basically what it is. Either side of government is no better than the other side. They're both as bad as each other. But then again, like I said, the governments are only puppets. They're controlled by this one world power, this one world government that want us all to be basically live like a third world country. Bring us down. We've enjoyed ourselves for too long. That's basic their reasoning here in Australia anyway. But it's all happening. It's happening everywhere, all around the world. Rioting everywhere. Protests everywhere. I see who was going on strike, who was going to resign, the nurses, I think. You know, health and education. They don't want us to be healthy. They don't want us to be educated. And most of our politicians are sucked in to believing that this is the thing that we have to do. This is good for everybody. Bullshit, it's good for everybody. What life are our kids and our grandkids going to have in this country? That's what we all should be thinking about. What kind of life are they going to have when this crap just keeps going on? It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. More taxes, more rules, more regulations. Dictators, that's what they are. They're dictating. This is not a democracy anymore. It's a bloody dictatorship. And Gillard's at the head of it. But like I said, she's getting her orders from, or both sides of government are getting their orders from this one world power, this one world order. People might think I'm crazy, but you wait and watch and see what happens. That's my feelings for the night. Night Voice. Catch you.